Hey everyone, this is Daryl Evans of the 1984 World Champion Detroit Tiger. My favorite show to be on is The Sports Circus with Big Sal.
Welcome to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP-TV studio, AAMP Television. Today's show is brought to you by UppercutChops.com. Check out their tasty selection of all-natural, dry-aged USDA, prime Angus, and Wagyu steaks and chops. Wait till you taste their best-in-class New York steaks, the filet mignon, and of course the king of all those massive and gigantic cowboy cut and tomahawk cut ribeyes. Best I've ever had, probably be the best you ever have as well. Check them out at UppercutChops.com. That's UppercutChops.com. Or give them a call, find out what's for dinner. 714-948-0100. 714-948-0100. Again, 714-948-0100 for UppercutChops.com. All right, a big welcome in everybody listening in on all of our network affiliates, CBS, NBC, Fox, Independence, from coast to coast, everybody watching on Cox, Comcast, Spectrum, Frontier, Oceanic, Time Warner, Spectrum, WOW, Charter, and independent cable affiliates. We're applicable, as well as Hotel TV, same. Everybody on streaming media, thanks for joining us on all your favorite streamers, as well as even on Facebook, on Chicago Food Favorites. Check out Chicago Food Favorites, a fun group. Talk about your favorite restaurants, favorite recipes, favorite foods. Make some friends, have some fun. Chicago Food Favorites on Facebook. All right. And you know, folks, listen, if you're into traveling and if you're into doing some fun things around the country, well, guess what? Maybe you want to get away for a couple of nights. Our friends over at Vacation Buddies are giving away a couple of nights right here in Las Vegas or in Orlando, Florida or Branson, Missouri. If you know the answer to this simple trivia question, which NBA superstar out of these four won 6 NBA titles? Was it A, Magic Johnson, B, Shaquille O'Neal, C, Kobe Bryant, or D, Michael Jordan? If you know the answer, call 888-576-5777, 888-576-5777. If you know the answer to that simple trivia question, you can pick up a couple of nights right here in Las Vegas, Orlando, Florida, or in Branson, Missouri, 888-576-5777. Vacation Buddies is not affiliated with this station, but they sure want you to travel and have a couple of fun nights on them. Check them out, folks. So, as a follow-up to a show we did recently with Mike Bro, who happens to be the founder of the Hangdogsocial. We talked about it. There was a press release that came out on it. And, folks, this is a fun and exciting, let's just put it this way. It's a fun and exciting excursion to the Hangdogsocial clubs. And it's not just clubs, but there's so much more to it. And as a matter of fact, to give you a quick 30 seconds on Hangdogsocial and everything Hangdogsocial is the founder of Hangdog, and that would be Mike Bro.
Hey, Sal, how are you today? I'm going to give you a little go-around on the Hangdogsocial front here. Yeah, we are a micro-community. The new facility that's opening in Rancho Cucamonga is 40 venues, food, entertainment, you name it. We've got it here. It is a membership club. We started in Redlands, California, and the thing popped off like overnight. It was we did no marketing, we did no advertising whatsoever. Everything grew organically. It's a great family fun place to come to. If you like golf, we have golf simulators. If you like smoke a cigar, we got cigar lounges. We got smoothie bars. We got coffee shops. We've got sports bars. We've got virtual ride rooms, theater. So, you got to check it out. We're opening a new one in Rancho Cucamonga here this fall. And, I'd love to talk to you guys more about this.
Yeah, hey, that's really good stuff. And I'll tell you what, folks, there's a reason we're bringing him on here. Now, there was a story recently that came out about NFL star Odell Beckham Jr., who did what? Converted his salary to Bitcoin in 2021 and says, safe to say we still happy with our decision. Here's what it's worth now. This is courtesy of Pick Your Favorite Media Outlet. I'm going to check this out, folks. Listen to this for just a moment, and then we're going to have Mike chime in here and talk a little bit about it. So, as the article reads, NFL star Odell Beckham Jr. may be having the last laugh after critics of his decision had a different opinion when he decided to take his salary in Bitcoin. And of course, when Beckham opted to convert his 2021 base salary of $750,000 from the LA Rams to Bitcoin as part of an endorsement deal with the Block-owned Cash App. Now, I know Cash App. A lot of people use Cash App. Anyway, critics were quick to argue that he was making a mistake. And those critics only grew louder and louder as the market crashed ensued the following year, which saw Bitcoin lose nearly 80% of its value. And of course, but now, about 4 years later, the Bitcoin bet, Beckham is the one who is smiling. And he said on social media recently, quote, "So, Bitcoin is at an all-time high today. Safe to say, we still happy with our decision," close quote. And by the way, folks, that post, it actually was reflecting Bitcoin's number, I guess their record high of about $120,000 a token. That's insanity. And anyway, when Beckham announced his Cash App deal, Bitcoin traded nearly $60,000. At last look, the asset's trading about $118,000, up 96% from that price. Suggested that, of course, Beckham, $750,000 now is worth $1,407,000. Something tells me he may have done the right thing. And Mike, we're going to get to you in just a second here. I do want to add a little bit more. Now, take away federal taxes and stuff like that of 49%. Combined to the $750,000, it would still be left with Beckham would still have $1.1 million, nearly 3 times more than he would have had if he just took the salary in cash in the first place. Good long-term investment. Not the safest thing because it's not asset-backed. However, that was one hell of a long-term investment. In fact, this is, of course, assuming that Beckham has refrained from selling any of his Bitcoin through the downturn, but yet there was the big recent rally. Now, also, regardless, Beckham has taken advantage of the renewed attention in recent months to highlight his deal with Cash App and remains active, offering referrals and bonuses and whatnot. And of course, he said, once again, on social media, quote, "People doubted me when I accepted my Cash App paycheck in Bitcoin. Joke's on you," close quote. Now, of course, Beckham's move had followed similar decisions from other NFL stars. Back in 2020, now retired Russell Okung announced he was taking half of his $13 million Carolina Panther salary in Bitcoin. Geez, how'd that work out? Think the guy made a few bucks? Oh, yeah. And guess what? There were more, too. And in fact, there was even Saquon Barkley took a whole bunch of money, apparently, and did the same damn thing. So I guess what I'm trying to say is when you look at these gainers, Barkley is up 260% on his investment in the very same situation. And now this is not, being Bitcoin is not asset-backed. However, the hangdogsocial coin, as I understand, is gold-backed and real estate-backed. Mike, talk about that for a couple of minutes.
Yep, you're absolutely right, Sal. The currency that we use at Hangdog Social for our monetary system is called the piety token, and it's at pietytoken.com. And we have 25% of our tokens. The tokens, are 25% backed by gold and 75% backed by real estate and business assets within the bank ledger of the Hangdog Social system. So your currency, your cryptocurrency here is backed by solid assets as opposed to meme coins and other cryptocurrencies. They don't have any asset backing.
Like Bitcoin has no backing, correct?
Absolutely not. They're not backed by anything. Now, the fact that it's highly accepted in many businesses around the world, that Bitcoin's value comes from the fact that it is being accepted by many businesses.
Right. It's a widely circulated fiat currency at this point. But hey, listen, they started out at 1 penny too, just like the Hangdog Social token, correct?
Now, if I could interject, we have a friends, family, and foes round right now. It's really for all of our current members, but your listeners can go on to pietytoken.com. For this round, it's at 1 penny. Our pre-sale starts next week at 2 cents, so you're already up, a doubling of your money. And we expect the pre-sale, because we can dictate the price of our coin. With the pre-sale will close at 17 cents, and then when we open back the new facility to the public, you'll have to pay 25 cents to get your tokens to use in the marketplace here.
Hey, that's good stuff. I found a video on the pietytoken.com website, and I want to play this. We're going to go ahead and go through break. But, folks, I want you to listen to this. It's 4 minutes and 12 seconds, and it talks about the 10-day Founders Vault, which, of course, the dates are extended just a little bit longer than the July 19th date. But I want you to check this out. Listen to this, folks, and afterwards, we're going to be right back here on The Circus. Don't go anywhere.
Hey there. Let me tell you a story about a small company out of California. 13 years ago, the Spritzy Drink Company designed and built a line of patented smart beverage dispensers, a multi-million-dollar invention ready to go global after getting a $100 million initiative from the Chinese government. Then, COVID happened. Everything froze. But sometimes, the detour is the destination. During that pause, we designed a mock showroom to showcase our products and how our dispensers worked in homes, businesses, and various venues. We called it Hangdogsocial, and it was supposed to be a static mock showroom. But to our surprise, a micro-community emerged and revenues exploded. People didn't just come for the drinks, they came for the experience, the community, the energy, the vibe. We realized we'd stumbled on something far bigger, a lifestyle venue people didn't want to leave. And that's when we knew we had to build more. As we outgrew our Redlands location, we saw the opportunity to expand this proven model into a global network of resorts, self-sustaining, community-owned, and built around entertainment, education, wellness, connection, and freedom. But something even deeper was happening. We were also part of a growing sovereign movement, and it needed its own financial tools. So we created cfbbank and Trust, a private institution governed by trust law. And then we created our own digital currency, the Piety token, a private asset-backed token engineered to grow with real-world use, member loyalty, and a fixed supply economic model. Now it's all coming together. We're now planning to launch 31 hangdogsocial resorts worldwide over the next 60 months. And it all starts with our 60,000 square foot concept location in Rancho Cucamonga, California. To fund it, we're doing something never seen before in modern finance, a token-backed capital raise inside a legally recognized private membership association, Yermi United. And you can be part of our Founders Vault pre-launch from July 10th till the 19th. This is your only chance to lock in 10,000 tokens for just $100 at a starting value of 1 cent per token. 125 million tokens are available during this phase. Once they're gone, they're gone. All tokens are held inside cfbbank and Trust and backed by gold and real Trust Ledger assets. Every Vault participant gets a digital Vault certificate, a free private cfbbank account, PMA membership, guaranteed access to the full token mint. On July 20th, the token enters Phase 2, its 90-day launch cycle. Price opens at 2 cents, gradually rises to 17 cents over 90 days to its target of $31 million to fully fund the Rancho Cucamonga Resort and global platform development. Your early entry could multiply and give you a voice, a stake, and a membership in a financial revolution. First, buy at least one Vault certificate for $100. Next, open your free cfbbank account. Next, receive your official certificate within 24 to 48 hours. In 10 days, convert to tokens once the mint opens. Then download your wallet and access the system. Activate your Hangdogsocial membership, and finally, live sovereign, live well, and live free. We're not building a crypto project. We're building a movement, backed by trust, driven by real people, protected by law, and modeled after the systems that families of old wealth used for generations to protect and grow their value. This is your key to a new way of life, not just digitally, but physically, emotionally, and generationally.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm Roy Firestone. Now it's time to throw it back to Sal.
Thank you, Roy, and welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP Television. This segment is brought to you by our friends over with pietytoken, and that's the Hangdog Social, and here to tell you all about it is our friend Mike Bro. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, Sal, thanks again. This is Mike Bro. I'm the CEO of the Hangdog Social and the cryptocurrency known as pietytoken. And we're glad to be here with Sal again on the Sports Circus, and enjoy your time, Sal.
All right, tell everybody real quick, in case they're just tuning in, what the pietytoken is and why we're talking about it in comparison with Bitcoin and the Odell Beckham and Saquon Barkley deals and stuff like that.
Well, I think the main reason we're talking about it today is it's at a penny right now. It's at the pre-launch versus the pre-sale. We're pre-launching to friends, families, and foes right now at half the price of what it's going to pre-launch at in the pre-sale. So you're able to get the token for 1 penny right now. We expect through the 90-day pre-sale segment, we should hit 17 cents. So that's a pretty good return on your investment. And we open Hangdog Social, which is our social lounge here, and we expect to open 31 more around the country. That's going to bring the price at 25 cents when we open to the public, and we expect to be at $1 when all the resorts are open.
Okay, so now I'm at the website. Now, folks, this is kind of interesting because this is an interesting mix between sports, entertainment, radio, television, streaming. Now, the Sports Circus is in position to handle all content creation, television, radio, broadcasting, and streaming broadcasting at the facilities at the Hangdog Social facilities. And needless to say, lots of people in sports and entertainment and whatnot will be right there at these particular facilities to broadcast their shows and or be a part of current shows. For example, even the Sports Circus will broadcast from the Hangdog Social location, for example, even in Rancho Cucamonga, or as the resort is built out in Temecula, California, or in Lake Elsinore, California, I should say. The reality is, folks, this is a lot bigger than just a club. It is a large resort chain as you go on. And Mike, I think I'm saying it right, is my understanding of it. So with the 31 or 32 proposed locations around the world, these resorts are going to have so many different aspects to them, but there will be broadcast facilities in them as well, will there not?
Absolutely. Every single one. In fact, Sal, we've got a goal of having a simultaneous grand opening for all 30 resorts that we're building on the same day. And you're probably going to be a big part of that with it being broadcast and simulcast. So all the facilities are opening up. That's our goal and our plan, to open all 30 of them at the same time on the same day and broadcast it around the world.
Well, that's a very ambitious plan. How do you plan on doing 30-odd grand openings at the same time?
Well, we have partners around the world, and we've been many of our partners have been involved with us since 2012 with the drink company. So, and when Hangdog took off, it was a concept facility that we were just highlighting and showcasing our beverage dispensers in different venues. So it really was kind of almost done by accident. Now, our partners around the world are like, this looks great. It grew exponentially month after month. They all said, I want a piece of this. So we are getting all of our ambassadors, and we're calling them founding elders, in place in all 31 locations. And they're very desirable places people want to go and visit and vacation. That's where all of these partners will be helping us to get these things done, and everybody will mirror each other in all locations as we're building them out. The footprint's been done, the blueprints have been laid, we're ready to go, and everybody's excited about it.
Well, what I find interesting about this, I mean, we think of the idea of, I mean, me personally, I always think about those all-inclusive resorts, and there's one company, to be nameless out there because they're not paying us anything, but the reality is there's a company out there that put clubs all over the world, and I've been to some of those clubs, and what I realized was that they have, once you walk in the door, this was a pretty cool thing. When you walked in their facilities, they had their own localized fiat currency. So you had to basically use their currency in their clubs. Kind of like when you go to an arcade, they make you buy those tokens, or nowadays they make you buy one of these cards that you have to charge up and so forth, right? But what I find interesting about this is that your organization, if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking here at the pietytoken.com, it says a free CBF Bank and Trust account. What is CBF Bank and Trust, and how does that work for all the people that may be looking to pick some tokens up?
Well, CBF Bank and Trust is where you can actually keep your tokens. It's an asset fusion bank that you can deposit your tokens there. You can use fiat currency like dollars. And again, you talked about the exchanges and other different currencies. The CBF Bank and Trust is everything is compared, I guess you could say, to the fiat, the dollar, the U.S. dollar. So you can exchange any type of currency. And in fact, if you have equity in your automobile, you can deposit the title to your car in CBF Bank and Trust as an asset fusion bank, and you can actually draw fiat currency off of equity you have in your vehicle at a zero interest loan towards your, if you have to make ends meet, you want to get a loan against your car, you deposit the title in your automotive account at CBF Bank and Trust, and you can actually draw money off of that with zero interest on the payback.
Now, is that for dollars or piety token? What is that for both? How does that work?
It's omni. You can use it for anything. The piety tokens will have whatever value the piety tokens are. If they're 22 cents at the time, you can exchange that for the dollar at 22 cents. And your automobile, whatever the value is, and it's based on Kelley Blue Book, and it's your automobile title is actually, it changes every single day based on depreciation, mileage, everything that you do. So your automobile will change, and so you'll see your account going down a little bit every day because your automobile is depreciating every day. But that's how much you can draw against it. But it's against, everything is based against the $1 bill.
So what
that's
if
the currency?
Mike, let me ask you this: what if there is an outstanding loan against the car? Let's say you're still paying the car off. Is it based off the equity of the car?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. It is absolutely. So we know what your balance is with your other lender, the one that's charging you an enormous amount of interest, and you can borrow the equity against your car that you have in the title that you deposited. That equity is 0% interest. So when you borrow that money against your car, whatever equity you have in it, we will loan that money to you at 0% interest. That's your account. It's in your account. So that's really your money.
So the same goes for real estate, right?
Exactly the same thing. Real estate is deposited in your master real estate account, and you can draw against that at a 0% interest rate.
And you could draw against the equity. And I just want to make sure that everybody's hearing this right, because, I mean, there are a lot of people that have asked me questions like, I don't know, I handle production, content creation, broadcasting, distribution, whatever. I don't know anything about that because I'm not a part of that in this organization. I just happen to be a broadcast partner, if you will. But people have asked me time and time over. There was a press release that came out about a week ago, folks. And in case you missed it, here, let me tell you, here's where it went to. Now, are you ready for this one? Here's a long list. And check this out, folks. So this was about the press release, and it was, let's see, what was the name of the release? I'm going to tell you exactly what it was. Let's just go to one of these. And the actual name, we'll go here to KLAS in Las Vegas. That's CBS Channel 8. And the headline for this, you could probably search it, folks. And the headline reads, "The Sports Circus Strikes Gold with an Asset-Backed Digital Currency Alliance." Now, of course, it is the piety token being the digital currency through Hangdog. And folks, this was distributed, in case you're keeping score. Are you ready for this? It's going to take a minute. All right, so it went to the AP News, KLAS, CBS Channel 8 in Las Vegas. I'm just going to name the TV stations and so forth. WDKY, Lexington, Kentucky. KLRT, Little Rock, Arkansas. It went to Small Business News Daily. It went to the Business Herald Online, Bazinga, Nevada Industry Wire, Silver State Dispatch, WKRG in Mobile, Alabama, WLNS Lansing, Michigan, WVLA NBC in Baton Rouge, WJZY Fox 46 in Charlotte. I think my friend's the news director over there, as a matter of fact. WJHL, ABC, and CBS in Tennessee. Crypto Insider Review, WJTV, CBS 12 in Jackson, Mississippi. And folks, the list goes on. WGN, World's Greatest Network, that's what that stands for. Channel 9 in Chicago, a monster station. It went to Crypto Times Gazette, KHON, Fox 2 in Honolulu, WBOY, ABC, and NBC in West Virginia, WPIX, monster station in New York City. Shall we continue? I mean, Mike, you get the point. It just went all over the place. KRON, Channel 4 in San Francisco, and you name it, it's been there. And my point in all of this, folks, this was a monster press release that came out from Dallas to San Diego to Seattle to Miami and all points in between. This was a monster. And I'll tell you what, folks, if you missed it, check it out. And it's just one of those ones you probably want to read because you're like, wait a minute. Wait, I thought they were in the sports business. They are in the sports business. They're in the entertainment business too. Oh, and by the way, they're also in the money business. Remember, the press release says the Sports Circus strikes gold with an asset-backed digital currency alliance. And that is specifically, of course, with our friends over at Hangdog. And it's the piety. And I got a little something for you here as we go to break on the piety token. You're going to want to listen to this one, folks. All right, back here in a few minutes on the circus. Don't go anywhere. I'm your ringmaster Sal of the Sports Circus, a primetime, nationally syndicated television, radio, sports, and entertainment show. The Sports Circus covers topics others are too scared to talk about. There's no other primetime show like it on here that'll punch you in the face and you'll beg for more. Join me, Hall of Famers, world champions, and all-star celebrity guests for chaos and controversy here on Libsyn and all podcast platforms, plus thesportscircus.com. Remember, folks, it's a circus and we prove it every day.
Hello, Americans. It's
to create the ultimate destination for family, faith, freedom, and fun. Hangdog Social Resorts. More than 14 venues under one roof, all designed to bring people together across generations. And it worked. So well, in fact, we outgrew our first location, but building a worldwide network of resorts, businesses, and sovereign services required more than vision. It needed a currency, one that was asset-backed, self-grown, member-controlled. So the founders at Your Me United assembled a global team of cryptocurrency developers and gave them a mission: build the perfect private financial instrument for our ecosystem. It wasn't easy. The first attempts were promising, but not perfect. So we kept building, testing, tuning, and now it's ready. The piety token is backed by gold, real estate, and sovereign banking infrastructure. And over the first 90 days, it's designed to grow from just 2 cents to over 17 cents and beyond. It's not a gamble, it's an engineered return for investors, business owners, and members alike. Secure your stake today. Join the movement at pietytoken.com.
Simple, affordable payment. The credit card companies make available special programs to help if you're struggling. All it takes for you to finally get out of credit card debt is one quick, free phone call. So please call right now.
800-948-6817. 800-948-6817. 800-948-6817. That's 800-948-6817. Paid for by the Debt Helpline.
Why pay retail for your next car? Just visit beepinautos.com to find your new-to-you car or truck. They find cars for people, even when cars are hard to find. So just go to beepinautos.com and click on Find Me a Car, and they find your perfect car on the wholesale market. Beepinautos.com. They're a car concierge. Beepinautos.com. BEEPIN autos.com. Beepinautos.com. Now you have a friend in the car business when you need it most. Trusted since 2013. Just click Find Me a Car at beepinautos.com.
Hey everyone, Dave Jackson here, ESPN rules analyst on ESPN Hockey, and you're listening to the Sports Circus.
Excellent.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP Television. This segment brought to you in part by our friends over at the College of Southern Nevada Athletics. Check them out at csncoyotes.com for upcoming games and events. That's the College of Southern Nevada Athletics, csncoyotes.com for upcoming games and events at the College of Southern Nevada, folks. Make sure you check them out. All right, welcome back to everybody. Pick your favorite TV, radio outlet, your streaming outlets, whatnot. Welcome back to the Sports Circus. And we are talking with Mike Bro, who is the CEO of the hangdogsocial organization. Folks, I got to tell you, this is a really cool thing because you can watch your favorite sports programming. You can participate in sports activities, family events, whatnot. Really cool. And there are also some very popular people in sports and entertainment that we can't talk about right now, but of course we want to, that may be involved in the organization. Mike, welcome back.
Hey, Sal, thanks for having me.
Okay, so as I was closing out the last segment talking about the different avenues when it comes to the press releases and whatnot, and I mean, look, there was enormous coverage for Hangdog Social and the Piety Token. Now, I jumped onto the Piety Token website, pietytoken.com. We talked a little bit about the cfbbank. Is that bank owned by the Hangdog Group? Or what is the story with the bank?
Yeah, Yermy United is the trust, that organization that owns Hangdog Social and the CBF Bank and Trust, yes.
So this is a bank-owned token?
Yes, the bank, believe it or not, the bank assets or the bank ledger is $62 million, if you don't mind me disclosing some of the financials.
Oh, that's fine. I don't care.
The Piety token was minted at 3.1 billion tokens, and you basically take the bank ledger of $62 million and you divide that. That puts the token at exactly 2 cents. Asset backed. It's fully backed by the bank's ledger. So now every time more and more assets are acquired by the bank and more tokens are purchased and 25% gold is deposited in the gold vault, the token goes up. So our token is nearly impossible to drop in price because all the revenue and all the acquisitions, we're just in the middle or in the midst of signing a deal, acquiring 3 gold mines in Gabon, Africa. And we're really excited about that deal.
Show me the money! Wow, that's nuts. So I've never heard of a bank-owned or bank-driven crypto coin or digital coin before. So let me ask you this. And I'm on the website for your token, for the pietytoken.com. I'm looking at it. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of cool information here. And there's a little part that says vault certificate. That says proof of token reservation and all this other fun stuff. Hey, what about, I'm looking at some pictures of an actual token. Are you going to mint those tokens?
Believe it or not, that token that you're looking at, it won't be obviously our cryptocurrency, but that is the token that we use in the facility and all of like our virtual rides. The kids take those like you kind of go at the Chuck E. Cheese deal, and you'll actually have those tokens. We have those, and we give them to the kids to go out and use in all the rides and all the events that they can.
No kidding. Oh, by the way, Chuck E. Cheese, you owe us some money here because we mentioned your name twice. Right, but anyway, right? You know, we definitely. Well, obviously, we're not going to get anything from them. But the point is, I was looking at these. These are really cool. And so there's a Founders Black Onyx Preferred Status cfbbank VIP. Tell me, what in the world is this? It looks like those black credit cards. You know, there's no limits on them. What's the story with this?
Okay, so right now we're in the Founders round, the Founders Vault, and you're able to get the tokens at a penny. The Founders card, the black card, is the first 1,000 people who sign up during the pre-sale will get the Founders Black card, and that gives you all access to all resorts in all 31 resorts around the world.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good stuff. So there's also an interesting graphic here, and it shows Piety Token, the triple loop value engine. What in the world does that mean for everybody listening to today's program?
Okay, many tokens are just the investment opportunity, right? They're a utility token. The hangdogsocial's piety token has 3 values. It's got the ownership. So every single coin gives you fractional ownership of the facility. Then there's the membership function. As a holder of piety tokens, you become a member of the Hangdog Social ecosystem. And then there is the investment function of that. So by investing in it, we pay out dividends every single month on the token. For anyone holding the token, you're getting paid dividends for all of the revenues that flow through the organization. Through the organization, not revenues but per se, but there is a percentage, 8.75%, that's pooled and paid back in dividends to our piety token holders.
Right. All right. So this is for all you people driving to and from Las Vegas or in Atlanta, listening on WDJY, listening in Auburn on WAUD over in Auburn, Alabama, home of the Atlanta Braves, or again, all those people on the freeway, for example, between Vegas and LA, listening on 101.5 FM and 107.3 FM. Hey, think about this. You may be spending money or winning money or losing money in fabulous Las Vegas right here. And at the same time, you're thinking, well, geez, you know, there's a lot of risk. And now Vegas is really expensive these days. It used to be a very cheap situation, cheap vacation, whatever. And by the way, just because I have to digress even more, our friends over at Vacation Buddies are giving away a couple of nights right here in Las Vegas, but not spending money. But they're giving you a couple of nights in Vegas or in Orlando or in Branson, Missouri, which is a really, really cool entertainment venue as well. I mean, just the city is one big venue. If you can answer a simple trivia question, which of these 4 has won 6 NBA titles? Which one of these superstars? A, Magic Johnson. B, Shaquille O'Neal. C, Kobe Bryant, or D, Michael Jordan. If you know the answer, call 888-576-5777, 888-576-5777, 888-576-5777. If you know the answer to the trivia question, Vacation Buddies is not affiliated with this station or with Hangdog Social or the Sports Circus, at that matter. It's just a really cool announcement because they want to give you a couple of nights in either Vegas, Orlando, or in Branson, Missouri. 888-576-577. Give them a holler. Okay, we wanted to get that shameless plug in there for them just because they're good people. But back to this, this circle is really cool. This graphic's cool. Folks, you can see this at pietytoken.com. And this is a sports and entertainment program. But at some point, folks, you got to pay for your sports and entertainment. And this is the only thing that I know of where you can actually possibly go on a vacation, plan a vacation, go on a trip, or go spend some time over in one of the clubs. And there's a possibility that your time over there could actually pay for itself. Is that not correct?
That's absolutely true. Think about it, Sal. So you plan your wedding, we talked about it last week, you plan your wedding 9 months in advance, 12 months in advance, and you reserve your piety tokens right now. Then by the time you come to Hangdog Social, we do weddings from the reception, all the way through the event itself, the ceremony. Your vacation could be paid for, and then you could be getting money back. So that's kind of a cool thing too if you invest in the piety token, especially for where it's at right now.
Yeah, that's really cool. And you know, as you build down the road, as I've had a little bird whisper in my ear that this fiat currency will be available in regular, I guess pick your favorite large organizations, small organizations, whether it's online. It could be an enormous amount of regular merchants where you could spend your piety tokens, as I understand. But again, that is all information, I guess, that's not out to the general public as of yet, but that is the plan. Just like when you take Bitcoin, we talked about at the top of this show with Odell Beckham and Saquon Barkley and others. And the reality is, since Bitcoin is so widely utilized and it's so darn expensive, hey, listen, folks, at one point, it was a penny too. But the difference is, it wasn't backed by anything, where this is actually, it's bank owned at this point. I think that's a very fair statement, isn't it?
I believe you're right. Now, remember, CBF Bank and Trust, what we really like about it is a private bank. It's for members only. So you can open your account, and once you do open the account, you get your CBF. You get your piety tokens. That goes into a cryptocurrency account. And there are no fees. There's no monthly fees, and there's no interest on loans from CBF Bank and Trust. But it is a private, members-owned and members-run bank. So we're not affiliated with any of the central banks or Federal Reserve banks and whatnot. This is a one-on-one relationship we have with our members and customers.
And so the bank itself is not subject to whatever the prime lending rates are, and they have their own financial metrics. Is that what you're telling me?
And in fact, one of the biggest that Sal is reporting, your business is your business, your money is your money. So it's not being reported to anybody outside of our organization.
Wow. I mean, that is very, very different. And a lot of people don't even understand what that is. And maybe in the next segment, we'll talk a little bit about the PMA structure of the organization and a little bit more about CBF Bank. I mean, folks, this is really different and really unique, and it is bleeding edge. People say, well, that's cutting edge technology. This is bleeding edge. So it's the edge of the edge, if you will. And it is super cool. So, folks, I got to tell you, you don't want to miss the last segment of the show here. We are here with the CEO and founder of hangdogsocial, and that would be Mike Bro, and you're going to hear from him and myself in just a few minutes after we take care of just a little bit more business. In the meantime, go to pietytoken.com, read about it while we're on break. Don't go anywhere. Lots more to come here on The Circus.
Do you know someone with a drug or alcohol problem? Get help right now. Insurance may cover everything. Stop the drug and alcohol nightmare. Are drug and alcohol problems hitting you too close to home? Get help right now. Insurance may cover everything.
800-831-1560. 800-831-1560. 800-831-1560. That's 800-831-1560.
Why pay retail for your next car? Just visit beepinautos.com to find your new-to-you car or truck. They find cars for people, even when cars are hard to find. So just go to beepinautos.com and click on Find Me a Car, and they find your perfect car on the wholesale market. beepinautos.com. They're a car concierge. beepinautos.com. BEEPIN autos.com. beepinautos.com. Now you have a friend in the car business when you need it most. Trusted since 2013. Just click Find Me a Car at beepinautos.com.
If you served in the Marine Corps, by now you know about the contaminated water problem at Camp Lejeune. If you were stationed or worked at Camp Lejeune from 1953 to 1987, you probably have a lot of questions. We have some answers. You could be entitled to compensation. Billions of dollars are being allocated to pay for damages to anyone stationed at Camp Lejeune during that time. Unfortunately, it appears that officials may have known the contaminated water problem existed and did little to protect their men. The Semper Fi Code was not honored. If you or someone in your family has developed a serious illness, including various forms of cancer, call this Camp Lejeune legal support line right now. You can't turn back the clock and change what happened, but you can certainly call right now and learn your rights as a Marine. Here's the number.
Call 800-335-7196. 800-335-7196. That's 800-335-7196.
Do a search on how to get out of credit card debt, and you'll find everything from crazy promises to ways you can try to do it yourself. Many of those ideas just don't work, and they leave you broker than you were. Here's some advice. Call our debt helpline. In a quick and free 5-minute conversation, our experts will listen to you and learn about how much credit card debt you have, what your goals are, and then show you the right solution to help you get out of credit card debt with one new simple, affordable payment. The credit card companies make available special programs to help if you're struggling. All it takes for you to finally get out of credit card debt is one quick, free phone call. So please call right now.
800-948-6817. 800-948-6817. 800-948-6817. That's 800-948-6817. Paid for by the Debt Helpline.
Hey everybody, this is Brian Urlacher. Welcome back to the Sports Circus.
Welcome back to the Sports Circus. I'm your ringmaster, Sal, live from Las Vegas in the AMP TV studio, AAMP Television. Folks, make sure you check out thesportscircus.com for our upcoming guest, our prior guest, recorded shows which could be found on Apple, Amazon, Audible, Spotify, Pandora, iHeart, YouTube, Stitcher, Deezer, plus all the others as well. And make sure you check out the partners page. Lots of great partners at thesportscircus.com. One of our favorites is Al's #1 Italian Beef, 1079 West Taylor Street in Chicago's Little Italy. That's Al's #1 Italian Beef, 1079 West Taylor Street in Chicago's Little Italy. And if you can't get over there for some great food, check them out at alsbeef.com. That's alsbeef.com. They are the creators 117 years ago of the famous Italian beef sandwich from Chicago, not to be confused with that other one over in Philadelphia, which is basically just a fried sandwich of some very questionable cut of beef of sorts. Slap in some onions and peppers and put some cheese whiz on it. They slap it on a bun and send you on their way. They should give you a roll of toilet paper with it, if you know what I mean. But anyway, the Chicago Italian beef, created by Al's #1 Italian Beef, the family over there, the Ferraro family. Check them out at alsbeef.com. All the history is there, and these are friends of the circus. We don't get anything for saying this. These are just friends of ours, and we want to make sure that we have everybody check them out because really the food is that good. Yes! That's my patented yes! Don't use it without crediting me. All right, we are back here with Mike Bro, who has really put together a cool venue, if you will, and resort group where people like you and me, we can go take vacations, we can watch sporting events, we could participate in events, private events, all kinds of cool stuff. We could broadcast shows, you name it, you could do it there. And that's the Hangdogsocial Resorts. And here to tell you in 30 seconds about those is the founder, Mike Bro.
Hey, thanks again, Sal. Thanks for having us on. Yes, Hangdog Social is a very, very special and unique membership-owned and membership-run micro-community. With this facility in Rancho Cucamonga is opening, has 40 venues, all food and entertainment, and we actually have two 20-room bed and breakfast, if you will, you can stay. We have a chapel, we have a event center. You can actually get married here. Theaters, bowling alleys, golf simulators, batting cages, batting simulators. We've got cigar lounges. We got coffee and smoothie. You can do business meetings here. There's anything that you can imagine you can do through the course of a day, you can do here at Hangdog Social. And everyone here is friendly like family.
So you're also going to have executive suites there too, possibly, right? So for people to do their business meetings, they could actually have the use of an executive suite if they're a member or something to the effect, right?
Of course, you can, and you can do, you can do seminars here. You can do, we have live bands, we have comedy shows. So yes, you can do just about anything you can do during the course of a day at work or at home. You can do here.
And they're top-line entertainers, too. It's not just Joe Blow or Josephine Blosephine. It's actually people that they would recognize. The members would recognize, the general public would recognize, like, wow, I didn't know that they were playing or they're touring or something to that effect, right?
Yeah, in fact, Mike Cano, who's a highly rated comedian in the Inland Empire, is actually one of the elders at the facility, and he books all of the entertainment acts for the comedians. So we've got a great lineup here of comedians, great solo artists, we have great live bands. So yeah, we've got a lot going on here, and you'll never ever be bored.
So people could join. They could essentially go to these clubs on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, or a lifetime type of a membership? Is that how that works?
Yes, sir. You can be, I mean, many of our members came every single day. The police community in the area, we had a lot of police officers that were members. And I say were, when I say were, that was our pilot facility in Redlands, California. The Ranch Cucamonga is all new and 4 times the size of the original pilot.
Right. That's the one that I went to over in Redlands. And I thought that was pretty big. And I loved the fact that, again, they were secure. You had to have access to get in there. So it's a great family environment, too. It's safe. There's so much to do. But look, folks, this is not an infomercial for this organization. This is about going to some place that you could actually go with your family, have some fun, watch your favorite sporting events or concerts or comedians or whatever the heck it is. But you can also go on vacation there, and you could utilize essentially a private bank-owned currency that is going to, well, let's put it this way. It will have its circulation outside of the club at some point, and right now, where is it at, and what is the possibility for people to pick some of the token up in the first place right now?
Okay, so right now it's going through our Founders Vault round, which is friends, family, and people that are part of the organization. But we open it up to listeners as well. So they go to pietytoken.com. They can take advantage of 1 cent offering, because when the pre-sale hits next week, it's going at 2 cents, and we expect it to hit 17 cents in 90 days. And then we close it down for the opening here, and then we're opening to our public and our new members at 25 cents. So it's a pretty good chance you're going to get 25x if you get in right now.
That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. In fact, that deserves an astounding round of applause. Okay, so as we move forward and we think about maybe Super Bowl parties or World Series parties or NBA Finals parties or Stanley Cup Finals parties or World Cup for soccer. I mean, that's a really big deal, right? Or even the U.S. Open for tennis and stuff like that. Do you hold special events for these giant events?
You know it. And in fact, you missed a big one. We just had the UFC fight this weekend. I mean, UFCs were huge here. So yes, we have all kinds of special events. Our Super Bowl was off the charts. The last Super Bowl, it was a record crowd. We had a record day, and that's a beautiful thing about Hangdog Social. We don't do any online marketing, or everything on the initial opening of Hangdog Social Redlands was organically grown. People would come in, they'd get their phones out, they'd start walking through the facility, and before you know it, they got 15 friends there. It's just not a place like you've seen anywhere else, or the concept is just extremely fresh and unique.
Now, one of our listeners had just sent in a message and said, can you purchase Piety tokens with Coinbase? What would your answer be for them?
So in the private rounds, the pre-sale and through our wallet, you can buy it through Coinbase. If you're going to pay with a cryptocurrency, you can purchasing it through Coinbase. When we go, we won't have it open on a public exchange until after the pre-sale. So that's when you're going to have a little bit more readily, then our token will also be on the public exchanges, and you'll be able to trade, Bitcoin for Piety tokens. But initially, I think the only way you can do it with Coinbase is if you pay with a credit card and convert it that way.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that was for Glenn. And we want to make sure that we acknowledge Glenn because he asked that question. But there's so many questions, and obviously there's just not enough time. So in our last few minutes of today's show, of course, Mike, we want to have you back because this is actually really cool. And the listeners don't get a chance to hear the back-end business side sometimes. Like, I'll talk about what it's like to do sports agent type of work and what it really looks like to not only be in the press box, in the locker room, to pick your favorite interviews or whatnot, or even as a member of a ball team as I played in my former life. It's so rare to really get a look into what it's like, the way things operate. Now, we've done really big business shows with billionaire business people and all kinds of cool stuff. And this is yet another angle that people get a chance to learn a little bit about business, a little bit about what it takes on the back end to make these kinds of venues happen. So people go to sports bars and say, well, hey, this is a great sports bar. I would tell everybody about it. But this is so much greater than a sports bar. It's a sports and entertainment and getaway destination, is it not?
Yes, and in fact, we've done gender reveals. We've done sweet 16s. We've done 80th birthday parties. We've done 5 weddings. Remember, the place is less than a year old at that time. So you can do just about anything here, and it's very family friendly. You can, we have cornhole outside. We've got axe throwing. You name it, with the virtual rides. We've got so many different party venues here. So it is absolutely, and there's a getaway places for the cigar lounges if you want to get away from the hustle and bustle and the noise and that type of thing. So, and we got the private cabanas out back. So, and the fire pits and whatnot. So it is a phenomenal place. But Sal, if I could touch on one thing, I wanted to bring up a quick story about last week. It really kind of touched me a little bit. Our CBF Bank and Trust, one of the members who has already invested, they asked if they could get all it is $100 for the token, the piety token certificate. Right now in the founders round, is they bought 4 certificates, one for each of their grandchildren. Think about that. They're buying for $100. You go get a savings bond for $25 or whatever, and what's it worth? And by the time your grandkids are 16 or whatever, this is a $100 piety token that's getting you 10,000 piety tokens for $100. And now what's that going to be worth? And we actually open the accounts in their grandchildren's name. We're a private asset fusion bank, and we can do those types of things. So you can actually put a certificate in your grandchild's name and hold it in that account at 10,000 tokens. If we get up to $1, your grandchild now has $10,000 in their account to use when they get out of high school or get their new car or whatever. So I thought that was a really cool story, and I thought that's a great way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that is a great story, and I have to tell you, I don't come across these on a very regular basis, because normally it's more of this controversial sports story or this position on this angle of whatever. But I have to tell you that with the Odell Beckham story, that's where we started at the top of the show with him and Saquon Barkley and whatnot. I thought that this was a really good parallel, having you back on the program talking about what they did with Bitcoin. And remember, Bitcoin was at one point at a penny, just like where you're at. And the best part about it is you have nothing but up to go. And obviously when the round closes, then it'll be 2 cents. Then it'll go higher, 15, 17 cents, whatever the hell, up to $0.25, $1, whatever. The point is, folks, there was somebody, and I'm going to close with this. At one point, many years ago, somebody was really hungry. They were so hungry that they bought a pizza with 1,000 Bitcoin. 1,000. And with Bitcoin at $118,000 per coin today, I think they paid, about $1 billion, Mike, for that pizza?
Well, the article I read, they paid, it was a $1.177 million for a pizza today.
That's ridiculous. Boy, they must have really been hungry. Anyway, folks, just check out pietytoken.com, and Mike Bro is the founder and CEO of this organization. And I have to tell you, folks, we're out of time here, but make sure you check that out. Mike, thanks for joining us once again here on The Circus. You're always welcome back.
Thank you so much, Sal. All
right, that's Mike Bro. I'm your ringmaster, Sal. We'll see you in about 23 hours right here on your favorite station. So until then, so long, everyone.
If I was your mother and you had a drug problem, I'd grab you by the ear and make you call and get help. You can be in treatment tomorrow and start to get clean in 7 days. Follow Mom's advice and call the Detox and Treatment Helpline now. Write this number down.
800-814-8628. 800-814-8628. 800-814-8628. That's 800-814-8628.
Why pay retail for your next car? Just visit beepinautos.com to find your new-to-you car or truck. They find cars for people, even when cars are hard to find. So just go to beepinautos.com and click on Find Me a Car, and they find your perfect car on the wholesale market. Beepinautos.com. They're a car concierge. Beepinautos.com. B-E-E-P-I-N autos.com. Beepinautos.com. Now you have a friend in the car business when you need it most. Trusted since 2013. Just click Find Me a Car at beepinautos.com.